Hey everyone, Dr. Dave here. Today we're talking about something way more important than supplements, way more important than protein shakes. Today we are talking about water. What is the best water to drink? Is it bottled water or is it actually safer to drink something else like city tap water? Or what should you be filtering out of your water? So let's break this down. Let's look at the science, not the fear of this. Why water matters, especially from a chiropractic perspective. Your body is about 60% water. Your spinal disc, your fascia, your joints, your brain, your muscles, all of those things contain water, and it all depends on proper hydration. Spinal disc in particular rely on water to maintain height and shock absorption. Dehydration can reduce disc hydration and increase stiffness and risk injury. Hydration isn't always about thirst, it's about tissue resilience and nervous system function. So let's look at city tap water. Is it safe? In most developed countries, municipal water is regulated by agencies like the EPA. The EPA does set legal limits for contaminants such as lead, arsenic, nitrates, bacteria, but here's the truth. Most city water companies do not meet the safety standards, but, and this is important, legal doesn't always mean optimal. What to watch for is things like lead and copper from old plumbing, chlorine used to disinfect, fluoride added in a lot of city water, and you've got what's called forever chemicals, which are pharmaceuticals in the water, agricultural runoff in rural areas, and the number one contaminant in your city water is actually toilet paper. So that's disgusting. So I'll show you guys what to do to help improve the quality of your city water. Hey guys, this is my house water filtration system. So we've had a lot of questions here lately, especially with the city of Wichita talking about water and how they're going to process our water. So I've had a few patients ask me, what do I have in my house? This is the system that worked well for our family. I got this from Springwell. I think they're based out of Florida. But basically, if you can see right here, this is the main line coming in from the city. And then that goes up, and then that typically just goes up and into your distribution block. But I've had my plumber come in and reroute it, still keeping the pipe a nice big size so you don't lose water pressure. But basically, when the water comes in from the city, it's going to go in here to this preliminary filter right here. And then from that preliminary filter, which is a 5-micron filter, then it's going to go in through the carbon media. So we've got carbon in here and we've got media that the water gets filtered through and then goes back up through the house. So let me show you guys how dirty this filter is. So this is why you want to have filtration on your house. So this is how dirty this filter is right here. So this is, you can see stuff in the water right here, big stuff. And you can see how dark brown that is. Let me show you what a new filter looks like. So that's your all your water is being filtered through that dirty filter. So we've got a 5-micron to get rid of the big stuff, small stuff, and then this one is going to clean the water up the best we can. So this is a nice house water system that you can use to give you some kind of protection against city water. Thanks for watching. But now I want to switch gears and talk to you guys about bottled water. Is it better or is it just marketing? Here's where it gets interesting. Bottled water is actually regulated by the Food and Drug Administration, not the EPA like city water. So that means testing standards are different, reporting requirements are less transparent, companies aren't required to disclose as much data publicly. And here's the kicker, a large percentage of bottled water companies is simply just filtered municipal tap water. So it's really nothing special. You're often paying for packaging, branding, and convenience. So The concerns with bottled water I have are, number one, microplastics. Recent studies have found microplastic particles in many bottled water brands. I've shaken plastic bottle before and seen the plastic floating around. If you've got that going on, it's nasty. Especially watch out for the ones that have been stored outside, like at a gas station. You've also got chemicals that leach in, like BPAs when exposed to heat. You've got environmental impact, so plastic waste and the carbon footprint. Now, is bottled water always bad? No, but it's not automatically superior. So the next thing we'll talk about is spring water versus mineral water. Now, spring water can contain beneficial materials like magnesium, calcium, potassium. Minerals improve taste, and they contribute slightly to electrolyte balance. However, quality varies dramatically depending on the source. I used to drive 45 minutes every other week to a natural spring up in Oklahoma called the Divine Spring, and literally would fill 5-gallon glass carboys and haul my water back. That's how important I used to take water. Now I just don't have the time and the energy to be able to do that anymore. And some of the imported mineral waters are excellent, but they're just expensive tap water in disguise. So look for source transparency, independent testing, and obviously glass packaging when possible. Now we're getting into filtered water. So is this the smart middle ground? In my opinion, for most people, filtered tap water is the sweet spot. A good home filtration system can reduce things like chlorine, lead, those forever chemicals, pesticides, microplastics. So there's a lot of different types of filters out there you can use for this. Activated carbon is a very popular one. That's what I use in my house. It's good for chlorine, taste, some chemicals. A lot of people do reverse osmosis, which is a very broad way of removing contaminants and heavy metals. The downside to that is it also removes beneficial minerals also. So that's why I lean more towards spring water. So what should you actually look for? Instead of asking what the best water is, you should be asking what's in your water. Here's what you want to check. Number one, you want to check lead levels, especially in an older home. You want to check for the forever contamination, so pharmaceuticals. You want to check the nitrate levels. You want to check chlorine byproducts and the quality of your pipe in your house. If your plumbing's old, even city water can pick up contaminants before it reaches your glass. So hydration and performance can affect things like focus, mood, reaction time, and muscle function. So chronic mild dehydration can increase headaches, muscle tightness, and even joint stiffness, which as a chiropractor, I see this all the time. How much water do you actually need? The general guideline is body weight, divide that by 2. That's how many ounces you should be drinking per day. Maybe even more if you're exercising heavily, you drink a lot of coffee, you sweat a lot, maybe you're in a hotter climate, and don't forget to add electrolytes if you're sweating a lot. So what's the best water? Here's my practical take on the situation. Filtered tap water is high quality filter. Clean spring or mineral water in a glass. Bottled water when necessary, obviously not daily, but the best water is clean. It's going to be low in contaminants, stored safely, and consumed consistently. So my final thoughts on the subject are water isn't flashy. It's not a trendy supplement, but it can affect your spine, your brain, and your energy levels. And it can also affect the way you recover. So before you spend a bunch of money on expensive wellness products like bottled water, make sure your water is clean. Hydrate intentionally, filter wisely, and stay aligned. I look forward to seeing you guys in the next videos. Thanks for watching. Hit the like and subscribe button below. If you found this video helpful, or you want to know more about water, especially the acid-alkaline balance, make a comment below and we'll make you some more videos on water and what it's in it, what it can do to help you.